What's happening? What's happening? This is J Melane, also known as Wise, and welcome to Wise going live at 5. Oh, today is gonna be fire. I hope y'all got your wagons, your bags, wherever you carry things available, because 24 karat gold bars was gonna be dropped today. And looking forward for these men to come together and talk. But before we do that, I'm just going to mention what's up with Wise Going Live at 5. Our mission is to empower and to inspire individuals. You know what? Through broadcasting live. So the reason why we have this broadcast is because of my upcoming book, Where, and it actually deal with state of being and understand the challenges between relationships, with especially with men, young boys and stuff, with the fathers of relationships, and also also address the school system and the challenges you have with the school system and teachers and those who care and those who don't care. So it's a very powerful book about reflection about life, and I know it's going to relate to a lot of people. So definitely go to www.jmalane.wise and wise.com, and you can go there and you can see links for pre-orders of the book and any other information about me. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go into this amazing discussion because I can't wait to just hear from the mighty, mighty men that I think very highly of. So, you know what? Let's go. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I had Eric Harrison, then I got Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon in the house. Come on now. You don't get no better than that, boy. We setting off Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? I got Black History in the making right here. Real life and in the 11 colors. What's going on, man?
What's poppin'?
What up, Doe?
What up, though?
That's what I was waiting on.
What up, though? Hey, I'm representing. I'm in the club. What up, though? It's good to hear from y'all guys, man. Speaking to you, in case y'all didn't know, this man right here don't just get food because you see a doctor in front of there, you see pastor and prophet. This is a true creative. A true creative. You know what I'm saying? He know how to take a slogan and, you know what I'm saying, get it printed out and make a brother look good. I'm not from the D, but I feel like I'm from the D.
Come on now. Honorary Detroit member. You and Eric.
That's right.
Everybody ain't able. Believe that.
Exactly.
You know that's right.
Everybody can't wear this like that, brother.
Now you got that right. Got it right. Only special people can when they get the creative design. They know how to know how to do it right. So you know what? Right. Speaker T know how to do it right, and we call them Speaker T people as well. You know what I'm saying? If you tuned in to the episode several weeks ago with Dr. Anthony D. Shannon, we also call him Speaker T. He gave the reason why we call him Speaker T. The name really means something because a very, very influential person of Les Brown gave him that name. So those who don't know Les Brown, you need to look him up. Ain't no way you don't know Les Brown. So, you know what I'm saying? I love calling Speaker T because it means something to me. Because you know what? This man, he be speaking, and you know what? He calls you to be believing. So, that's 24 karat gold bars for you. So, before we get started, and we're going to get some shout outs and everything like that, I want y'all gentlemen to introduce yourself to the crowd. In case those don't know, we want you to introduce. So we're going to start off with, we're going to hit them high. So you go ahead and hit them high, Eric. So introduce yourself to everybody.
Eric, my man.
Hello, my name is Eric Harrison, and I am a success architect. And you wonder, what is a success architect? What is that? What does that even mean? Well, what I do is to help you, number one, discover all the things that you have about yourself, and then number two, help you to build on all those things, be able to leverage them, and then help you to execute a plan that will get you to the place that you be, from point A to point Z. Now, I've been doing this in corporate America, in the church, and now I'm hung on shingle, and that's in EYP Coaching. And I'm just glad to be here. I'm just glad to be on such a show like this. You smooth, he came in, had his little music coming on, he was smooth. And I'm just glad to be here. I mean, you know, whatever you tell me to do, I'm doing it. So let's make it happen.
That's hey, what up though? Hey, I can't be no smoother than that. Speaking T, I know what I'm saying. I don't know how you gonna follow that one up. So hey, to everybody who you are, you know what I'm saying. What up though?
What up though? Just stay in my lane. That's all I can do. But you know, my name is Anthony D. Shannon. I'm a senior because I have a son who is a junior. And we thank God for it. I've got a daughter and another son. And I'm glad to be able to have raised three adult children in today's time. My wife and I have been married over 27 years. And we thank God that. Now, what's ironic about that is that on my father's side and on my mother's side, nobody stayed married. It's divorcee or never get married in my lineage. So I didn't think I would be able to stay married for sure. I didn't think I'd get married. And here I am, 27 plus years going strong. So we are a family, man. We thank God for that. We do several things. Of course, we're a senior pastor of the Victory Church International, and we thank God for that. And we have several things that we do: community outreach for our VDC and Victory Development Community Center. And then, of course, we do a broadcast, what we call Leading from the Future. We tell people that Leading from the Future is a unique space where inspiration seamlessly blends with revelation to empower people on their journey. And we just don't keep people informed. We transform people's perspective by diving into riveting stories of individuals who triumphed over adversity. And then, of course, people learn how those who overcame persevered against all odds and then absorbed invaluable lessons by using their voice to ignite change. And then, of course, we now have clothing that we do. So we're into customizing leather jackets and with embossed leather. And then, of course, a sports line as well that we want people to wear. We call it WEAR, W-E-A-R. The gospel comes to life through fashion, but God gets the glory. So, then, of course, we're just happy to be here as a brother and a friend to the Kings right here today, Eric Harrison and J Melane, also known as Wise.
I appreciate your speaking, T. I appreciate that, man. You know what? It's amazing to see, like I said, the magnitude of what you do. And the magnitude, I mean, what you do is you don't also just do ministry, but you're also is a entrepreneur and a business owner, and you put your faith to work.
Yes, sir.
You put your faith to work, and we're gonna share.
My question is how many jobs you got?
What's that?
I said, how many jobs you got, brother?
Oh, too many.
You know, it's the question they ask brothers.
Too many. I got a lot of jobs. 1, 2.
And he's efficient in all of them.
Come on, man. He said,
he don't have jobs that's not doing anything. They ain't not hobbies. They actually are jobs.
Come on, man.
That's hilarious.
Jesus.
That's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Hey, let's go ahead and show some comments with some gentlemen here. So real quick. So we have we have Antonio Landis Thompson. We're very familiar with him. Born for greatness. Then we have Lakeisha Mosley. She said, hey, King Wise, King Eric, and Prophet Anthony Shannon. Then we also have, looking forward to seeing you three kings. Okay, and that's Val, the voice, the global voice. Oh, Lakeisha Bam said, bam, what up, though?
What up, though?
Then we have the amazing Jill Collins from Jill Collins Connection. Amazing YouTube channel. Definitely need to check it out. Woohoo! So what? The top-notch group of divine kings. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Now she dropping 24 karat gold bars. Hey, gentlemen. Hey, we want to go ahead and get started. Hey, those in the audience, if you have any questions for us three, you go ahead and drop it into the chat. We'll definitely respond. We'll try to do an order as much as possible. So don't be shy. I know y'all got questions. You got me in here. Y'all want to ask some questions? Ask some questions. But before y'all get y'all questions going, I wanted to go ahead and start the stage real quick. Since this is the start of Black History Month, and we are Black men, and we deal with a lot of stuff going on in our community. So I did want to throw this on the table first, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to ask this question here for both of your guys. And then y'all can pick whoever want to go first. Toss the coin. Whatever you want to do.
I'm going behind Eric, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you hit him high, man, you know what I'm saying? I hit him low. He hit the middle, nowhere to go.
I just get in where I fit.
You get him fit in. Well, he already told you where you fit in, so we already know the role. So the first question going to you, Eric. So, all right, so get ready. So, in your view, what are some of the most pressing challenges African American men face today, and how can we start addressing them to improve our relationship within our community?
You know what? Now I see why you want me to go first, so you can get a question and get ready for it. You see what I'm saying? Like, he ain't slick. He ain't slick. I know. Hey, I peep game. I'm from Chicago, so I ain't too far from the DC. I know what's happening.
What up?
But listen, that's an amazing question, Wise, and thank you for that. One of the major problems that I see with, and I'll start off with our young people, anywhere from 12 years old and up, right? They're young men. I see them as young men. I see them coming of age. I see them maturing. I see them being exposed to things that most grown-ups are exposed to, especially since they have these things right here, right? You're exposed to things much sooner and much earlier at times than you should be. So the biggest thing that I see is that they don't know who they are.
Right.
They have no clue of who they are. And when you don't know who you are, anybody can sell you a bill of goods. Somebody can come up and tell you to do something. You have no moral compass. You have no rudder to steer you in any direction, and you are just floating around with the wind. And what is the wind? The wind are the words that people speak to you who mean you no good, who have ill will. And when they speak, that wind comes and you just blow right towards those things that mean nothing to you. And the only way that you can avoid that is having the weight of identity. Identity has a weight. And when you have a weight, you don't move real easy. Like, I can't come in here and tell you anything, Wise, because you ain't moving. Prophet, you ain't moving too quickly on stuff unless if it ain't got no weight to it, it don't mean nothing. Because both of y'all know who you are. And most of our young men don't know who they are. And then the second problem is most of the older men don't know who they are. So they can't come in and tell them who they are. So now you see the quandary. It's a 360 problem that we definitely have to deal with each other. We've got to be able to talk to each other. We've got to be able to share with each other and open ourselves up so that we can have a holistic solution. So that's where I'm at with that.
Wow.
Ooh, you heard that? 360. Ooh, degree problem. Come on, speak it to you. Now it's on back on to you.
Well, since my brother so eloquently answered the question, I would have to just continue to expand on that in the sense of, from this perspective. Most of us, as Eric said, don't know who we are. And in order to build a home a house, an office building, the first thing that they work on is the foundation. The foundation, see, windows can be broken, windows on doors can be busted open, and they will not condemn that house. But if there's a crack in the foundation, they will condemn the whole house. I don't care how pretty it is. I don't care if it's $2.8 million. They will condemn the house. And they're condemning the house because they don't know there's a crack in the foundation. And the foundation is they don't know who they are. You see, I want to say this. I'll say it this way. The foundation is a word called principles. I live and teach on principles. Principle comes out of the word prince. Prince means first. So they have Prince Harry, Prince Charles. They're first in line to take over. They learn who they are. They understand how they're supposed to act, move. They understand where their destiny is. And most of our folks don't move on principle. They move on emotion. They move without intellect. They move with cracks in the foundation. And so they are in darkness. Now, darkness, I found out that darkness means ignorance. And in the Hebrew language, knowledge means light. You know what's interesting about going to Israel and watching the wall where they pray, the prayer wall, and the Jews are over there doing this? You know what's really interesting? Not the prayers. Now, I know they highlight the prayers. I understand that. They praying at the wall, all that kind of stuff. Everybody coming over there to pray. That ain't what's interesting. Let me tell you what's interesting. Books are everywhere. Books are open all over the floor. They stand on knowledge, light, principle first. And that's why we need to work on getting, as Dr. Martin Luther King said, you have to work on that intelligence, that mind. You have to, so that you can build a foundation to learn who you are.
You know what? I got to jump in real quick, and I'll say this real quick, and you can move on. There's another thing that I want to highlight in what you said. And you said something about being a prince. And the only way that you know you're a prince is that someone before you tells you who you are.
Well,
and there are so many things that we have to address there. Many years ago, I had a pastor that was dear to me. He ministered to me, and he told me something about what's called the father fracture. So when you said something about the crack in the foundation,
come on, Doc.
Crack in the foundation many times comes from the fact that a father did not set that foundation for that young man.
Well,
he can know what it's all about. And what happens when you set a foundation? Number one, you have to put up the boundaries for the concrete that you're pouring.
Yes, sir.
Then once you set up the boundaries for the concrete you're pouring, then you pour the concrete. And you have to mix it up perfectly. You just can't put too much water in there, because if you put too much water in there, it's just going to crumble. It's got to be just right. And then once you pour it, you got to let it dry. And a foundation takes a long time to dry. So in order for all those things to happen, you have to have the patience to be able to minister to that foundation. And so many men don't have the patience to pass on the legacy so that these young men can have an identity.
My God, you're saying something.
Come on now, 24 karat gold bars dropped indeed. Let me give y'all guys a sample of that, what you just said. Me growing up. So, no, we're not playing. I'm a real brother. Me growing up with a toxic father that did not know himself, that went to a war, came back and lost a lot of himself and his self-awareness, his identity. Came home, married somebody, and then had a child. Didn't know how to identify, like you said, setting the foundation at the beginning, did not set the foundation of learning, did not take this foundation of upbringing and teaching, showing the young man, which was me, who he was. So when he took the opportunity to leave, he said, hey son, take care of your mom. But he didn't give no principles.
Wow.
No principles of a blueprint of how to be a man, who your identity was. So it left me in a state of confusion, because the example he gave me I knew wasn't the example I needed to play with my mother, but it's the same thing I've learned. I had to find an identity. My identity was Saturday morning cartoons, watching Superman, Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, and all that. So my identity became a superhero because of that. So I applied all that to all my relationships. I became a superhero, not understanding the foundation was not for me to be a superhero. The foundation was to be solid, understanding the principle of God. So therefore, I had to go through a whole life being young adult, young man, trying to portray an identity that was not even based off of reality. Come on now. So when I came a man and I went to my lowest points, I had to connect to my true father, who identified my true identity, so I can be able to be the man who I am today. So I can be able to stand strong on the foundation, because I had to get my foundation reset. See, the thing about it, you got a bad foundation. Your foundation can't get reset. It can't get repaired. So I had to go back to the master carpenter, to reset my foundation. So therefore, when the process to go through it, when it's set, because y'all guys preaching now. So I'm going through the example of it. When it reset, I can so the house is reset. So yeah, the doors and windows, they might have been busted, they got fixed, but that foundation got set first. Come on now, y'all dropping 24K.
And get this though, but get this. We talked about the father fracture, but when you went to the ultimate father is the repairer of the breach. So he can fix it all. See, that's the thing about it. We don't live a hopeless life. We live a very hopeful life because we got the one that can fix it all. All you got to do is go to him.
All you got to do is
That's all he asked. He said, just come to me with a contrite heart, and I'll get you right. I got you. But you got to come to me and you got to be real with it. Now you can't play no game with me. I mean, right, Prophet? You know that's so, like, what we saying could seem so deep, but it's the simplest thing in the world.
You know, what we're saying is simple, right? And we're breaking it down to simplicity, but it is complex.
Yes. Yes.
Because if it wasn't all fun.
Come on.
Now, but that's what they got us, because when the foundation is broken, you had to identify where the problem is at. So you had to understand what the problem is. I had to understand what the problem is. I had to be aware of myself, understand that myself was broken. It wasn't nobody else. I can't go ahead and look for that window in my neighbor yard, why it's broken. I had to look why my windows, why my doors, why your floor lopsided. Why my floor lopsided. So while my store was lopsided, I had to go and I had to do an estimate on myself. I had to go ahead and let them know. So when they came in, they had to identify it, and I had to have somebody to work with me. And guess what? It took a crew. So the father was the source, and he had to do it, but I had to get other people to actually help me realign that as well. I had to go and get the professional help. I had to talk to the brothers in my life that actually helped me to identify. I had to do some other additional things. It took more than one. Yes, the master one fixed it. He the one identified. He applied the resources, the other resources, to help to get it done. So that's what we need to understand with the young men and stuff. We need to apply knowing who the source is and have the available resources to be able to help them. And this, like I said, is simple, but it's complex. Because now we in our communities got to be able to do things. We got to be able to reach out, knowing the problem is we got to make sure our foundation is set. So when we go and talk to the young people who are connected to us, that we can make sure that we identify and we are a resource that can give them back to the source. Come on now.
Come on.
Absolutely. So I would say, I would sum it up, or they say, let's surmise this. into this theological construct to say that the symptom for most of our men is the fact that there is a problem. And the symptom says there's pain, and the pain is caused because of identity crisis, and which means they don't have a foundation because there was no father to give it to him, and that's what causes all of this mess.
Yeah.
Ooh, thank you. That's what I'm saying. I love it. Since you talk about that, I want to bring something up real quick, Speaker T. So I'm gonna bring this up. Do you have a book they call The Heart of the Black Man? Can you go in more detail about this book and how it can inspire and help us?
Yeah, this is a book of about 25 of us, black men, very professional, overcame adversity. Some with fathers, some without fathers, some had fathers that divorced. So it is an amalgamation of men. And we decided to get together and to provide these stories so that our young men can read about different men who have overcome. Maybe some are identified with no father. Maybe some are identified with a father. Maybe some are identified with a divorced father, and begin to say, hey, that's us. And throughout history, systems of injustice and racism and discrimination have resulted in a range of obstacles that have impacted the lives of well-being black men. I don't care if they tried not to get in trouble. Somehow trouble found them because of where they were or where they lived. And so the Heart of a Black Man offers a message of hope and empowerment, and it shares the personal stories of resilience, perseverance, triumph of black men in these United States who have overcome the system instead of the system overcoming them. And we've got people, including international men, from London, Jamaica, Bahamas, right, Barbados, and of their struggles and, of course, their victories that shaped them to become the professional black men that they are today. And now the message is for all men, but in particular, our men, for sure. And so anyone seeking a deeper understanding of the experience of black men and what our struggles have been and the overcoming strength, then this book would definitely be a blessing to them.
Awesome. And see, it says scan me. Be sure that you scan that and get a copy of that book, because it relate. He talking about the heart of the black man, so each black man should go ahead and purchase this. But if you want to get an understanding of a heart of a black man, it doesn't matter what race or creed, who you are, women and stuff like that, get a copy of this book so you can start understanding the heart of it, so you can be able to it's all about relationship and communication. If you understand the heart of being, you're able to communicate to them. So Speaker T, we definitely appreciate it. And we're going to share a lot more about other programs and other books that you also have as well. But I thought that's very amazing, especially we had this conversation going on. So we got a couple comments that came in I want to make sure I address, and that came from Jill Collins, our wonderful person, the expert of connections. So even fathers who are engaged should help their children with an emotional foundation, as there are no guarantees they will always be there. Come on now, Jill. Come on.
Wow.
And then she dropped, bam. Where I have seen so many parents think they will be around and in their lives for years to come. The tragedy is when one leaves this earth, a child is alone without a tool they need, and I understand that there 100%. So you dropping 24 carry gold there, Jill. Thank you for sharing that, and that's 100% true, because there's a lot of Speaker T. I love that you got your family unit together, and you work with your family unit. Eric, you have a different experience because you had to redefine some things because of your childhood. and as far as your relationship with your father, but you tried to break that. I would love you for, since Jill made that comment, how can you expand upon that as far as somebody who experienced something different that tried to reverse that as far with your children? Can you expand on that real quick?
Well, my father was different. It wasn't that he wasn't around where I didn't see him, but he was a present father, but he wasn't there. So he was seen, but he wasn't felt. And a father has to be felt. There's no way that you can be a man in a household and nobody feels you. If your wife ain't feeling you, listen to what I'm saying. If your kids ain't feeling you and you just there, then basically you're a piece of furniture. You know what I mean? And sometimes you're that piece of furniture that's sitting in the corner that nobody even deals with. You know, like those little chest of drawers. You know, I'm a Mississippi boy for real. I'm from Chicago, but we all from the SIP. So we talk about chest of drawers and stuff like that. That little chest of drawer that's sitting in the corner that nobody know what it is and nobody open the drawers, and it's just that's what that man becomes. Like a piece of furniture that has no purpose. And what happened was my father would be around, but he really did what he knew to do, which was work. Because again, he's a Mississippi man, and he came from a place whereas they didn't have much. He had to take care of his family. So the way he showed his love was to work, 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 work. Now my mother went through so many different things as a young lady. Before me, she had 2 miscarriages. And she was married to a very abusive man before my father. So he came along, Prince Charming, looking great, smooth, doing his thing. They get married, but the past begins to pop up from my mother. And he does not know how to deal with it. So guess what he did? He went to the thing that he knew to do, work. She's sitting here going through trauma and he working. And now that separation starts happening between them and they go further and further apart. To the point where he just come in the house and all I can remember is his stinky boots sitting in the corner because that's how I knew he was home. And then when I wake up in the morning, he was going to work. And he was never there during the day. And she was there left to deal with us. When I went through that as a young man, and when I grew up, I vowed that I would never have that in my life. That is not going to happen with the young men that I have. So I am blessed to have 3 young men, all grown, 32, 30, and 29. And I was married for over 21 years. Now, during that marriage, all kinds of stuff happened, and we found out about incompatibilities and all kinds of things like that. There was no abuse. We did nothing crazy to each other. But we kind of found like, man, we kind of did this quick or whatever. But the one thing that kept us together and kept me there was those 3 boys. Because I did not want to become that piece of furniture, that chest of drawer that was sitting in the corner that had no value, not in their lives. And by the way, I ain't always have a nice sweater on. I had like, like a wife beat on it, that we ain't gonna use that word, but you know what I'm saying. You know what that is. And the hood I lived in wasn't nice. I lived in Inglewood. So I had to be there with them boys. Because if I wasn't there with them, hey, who knows? So we put up with each other and I was there for them. But over time, what I realized is that as our relationships grew wise, I began to learn so much from them. And it began to be an exchange because I thought I knew it all because of how bad my father treated me. But then God had to reveal to me a different way of thinking so that I wouldn't still kind of put that thought process on them. It's funny. People say, man, I had a horrible mother or a horrible father. And I said I would never act like how they act. But you know what? If you never was exposed to anything else, how are you going to act? You're only going to repeat what you had before in your life. And you always have any of you ever done something and your mother used to do it or your father used to do it and you hated when they did it, but then you wound up doing it and you don't even know why you did it? That's because you saw it all your life and that's how you've been exposed. You've never been exposed to anything else. So I started doing those things I started working like crazy. I was working all night. And I remember my youngest son is my most boisterous, bold son. And he that one, the kid that'll say anything. He was the kid that'll say anything. So he'd come in and be like, why that lady hair crooked? Like he was that kid. Like, and boy, shut up. And then the women try to fix a wig. He was that dude. And he came in one day, he said, Dad, he said, you always talk about spending time with us, but all you do is pick us up from school and then jump back on this computer. Like, is that really spending time with us? And then he walked in the room. I couldn't say nothing. So then I could say what my father did changed me and made me act different. But that moment right there changed me and really made me act different. And from that point on, so many things have happened. I think most of you have seen the short film Love and Legacy with all of my boys. If you haven't, it's on YouTube. It's on the Express Your Perspective channel. But if you look up Express Your Perspective - Love and Legacy, you'll see it. And we talk about those tough times when I was a father that did not understand, and then how I became a father who did understand. And I was able to shift and change my mindset so that they could become the young men that they are today. So that was my journey, man. And it's so wild. And I hope I touch some men here today, because sometimes you try so hard not to be your daddy, but you don't know any other way. It's akin to what we talked about earlier. The foundation was set. The foundation was set. So you could tear down all the walls, all the doors, snatch all the windows out and everything else, but the foundation ain't going nowhere. So you still going. So anyway, man, thanks for that.
No. I love that. 24 karat gold bars, bro. Saying you got responses on that. Even the amazing Jill Collins said, what a beautiful share area. So many has similar experience. Wow. Then we got it right there. We got the Brown Sugar Cafe. That's Terrence P. Elmore. Come on, Terrence. He'd be dropping 24 karat gold bars. I don't. We talk enough about growing up in two-parent houses, but the father's not being present. Great point, bro. Great point. I experienced that, so I know. And then in my relationship, because I was married, I'm married. I'm being a divorced man now, going through the same thing. I wasn't present because it got to the point because I didn't know how to deal with my childhood traumas. She didn't deal with her childhood traumas. So the best way to deal with it was to work. I wasn't going out there doing all the other crazy stuff. I just worked. And like you said, I didn't have that communication. Eric, your son came to you and say, hey, whoa, you doing too much here. Hold up. And you had this chance to reflect. Then you had to reset your foundation. I didn't have that opportunity. So mine, even though it resolved, the children that I inherited, saying I didn't get a chance to actually be able to mentor to them the way I gave them value by being able to mentor to them. I think the way I need to, because guess what? My foundation was not set. So before we start doing stuff, we got to definitely check our foundation. Fits the foundation. So when we go out there and we inherit those who come in our lives, we're able to help them to be able to set their foundation at the beginning. Very powerful, very powerful. And so I just want to make sure I share that with y'all guys. Hey, we're going to this has been mighty and this has been good. I'm going to take a quick interlude. Then we're going to do is we're going to come back to another question. I want to make sure we ask. Then we're going to share this.
Get ready.
Well, while you're trying to figure that out, what we're going to do is we're going to go take a quick interlude. So, all right, we'll be right back. Hey, this is J Melane, also known as Wise, and this episode also been sponsored by EYP Coaching, and they got something they want to share with you. So check this out.
Imagine if you could write your own story for the new year, a story that disrupts everything you've done in the past. This isn't just a dream, it's a journey, and EYP Coaching is here to guide you. At EYP, we're more than just coaches. We are life architects, your partners in a transformative journey of self-discovery and growth. We personalized our guidance to fit you perfectly. It's never a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about listening, understanding, and collaborating with you. As life architects, we help you build not just goals, but a vision for your life that resonates with who you truly are and where you aspire to be. Imagine a coaching experience that merges the power of human insight with the precision of AI, a blend of technology and personal touch that offers solutions tailored just for you. It's not about changing who you are, but enhancing how you connect, lead, and grow. As a special gift to the Wise Going Live at 5 listeners, scan this QR code now for an exclusive 10% discount. Make sure you stay connected with us at www.eypcoaching.com so that you can embrace the new, take the leap, and look forward to the journey that lies ahead.
I want to thank EYP Coaching for being a sponsor of Wise Going Live at 5. Definitely in this time, you need to have know your 7 life languages, and know your communication skills, and know your communication styles. If you want to have a successful business, a successful relationship, successful partnerships with people, you need to understand how people communicate. You need to especially know how you communicate. So definitely check out this information. I tell you, it'll be a blessing. It blessed me, and it actually helped me with Wise Going Live at 5 and all the endeavors that I do now. So it'll definitely be a blessing. Now we're going to go back to some more questions from the mighty men. So yes, let's do this part 2 part. So check this out. All right. We back in the house. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and throw this question out there. So y'all go ahead and get ready. I hope y'all may flip a coin and do whatever y'all.
No. I ain't saying nothing. My mute button no. My mute button ain't working no more.
All right, but we want to hear from y'all guys on this one. So let me go ahead and throw this one out. How important do you believe open and effective communication is in mentoring the divide between African American men and women, and what steps can we take to foster it? That sounds like your wheelhouse, Eric, but I'll let whoever want to go first. Take the mic. Oh, speaking to you on mute.
Oh, well, since King Wise were a great host and King Eric was so cooperative earlier, I guess I'll be cooperative this round. Touche. Well, first of all, let's say this again, going back to my favorite, which I teach people in business, I teach people in marriage, I teach people, young adults, that there's a scripture in Proverbs, I think it's Proverbs 24 and verse 3 through 4, and it says, any enterprise, life, family, business is built on wise planning and becomes strong through common sense and profits wonderfully by keeping abreast of the facts. Without wise planning, we will succumb to the stress and pressures of everyday life. And without communication, and communication, let me explain it. Communication is with the intent to agree. If when me and you communicate and talk, if I understand what Eric is saying, he understands, then we agree. We shake our hands, we go on about our business, we take care of it. But if he say something I don't agree with, I don't understand, and he think I got it, then I walk away, come back. He said, man, I thought you understood. Man, I was done with that, Well, then we didn't communicate. We don't have an understanding or an agreement Now we have an argument, a fight, or drama, or whatever the case may be. So communication is very key. You got to understand knowledge is powerful, and power equals light. Light means you understand. You got a clear understanding. I grew up, many know this, some don't, but I had a learning disorder. So I couldn't learn. Even when they tried to get me to learn, I couldn't comprehend. They said, you don't get that? Nope. They tried everything to get it, and I couldn't get it. But once I understood my learning pattern and how I learn and the rate of learning, oh, come on. When I got it, I told them, I got that. They said, give it back to me. I could give it back to them. Because once you communicate, you should be able to give it back. But we got to understand there's this nemesis called ignorance. Ignorance equals darkness. Darkness is what, Satan or whatever the church world would call Satan, but it's really ignorance. Once you get enlightened, then you don't have to pray. Listen, your car run out of gas, you ain't praying, la, please, Heavenly Father, please send me some gas. You take that car over to the gas station, put some gas in it, and go about your business. Because that's what knowledge and light and communication will do. It will shorten the path, man. It will speed you up, expedite where you need to go. And communication is that important because I need to know and I need to understand who I am. That's what I did with my children. Every Friday, I would sit them down. We have a powwow every Friday. And every time we would have that powwow, we in communication. Now here, I'm thinking I'm the best father in the world, believe that. And they come saying, I let them say anything. I probably let them say too much. But they told it to me. Like King Eric said, his son would just tell you. I sat them in a circle every Friday, and they would say to me, you offended me. You did this. I'm like, I thought that was cool. No, that was embarrassing. Don't ever do that. I'm like, okay. So that trained me on I wasn't communicating. I was communicating from a father perspective, but I sure wasn't communicating from the daughter or the son perspective, looking and listening from the father. So I had to change that paradigm so that I could debunk it and get through communication. That's what I say. I'm complete.
Ooh, Eric, I think you should have went first. Speaker T just dropped some 24 karat gold bars all over the place. I know you're still busy picking them up, so but I'll let you go ahead and jump in. Team game. Eric, while you get yourself together, I'm gonna share some comments real quick. So I'll give you a chance to get yourself together real quick. So what we're going to do is I want to make sure Denzel, who was on last week, he said great conversation. So, saying people are listening and wow. Then we got Melinda, communication is with the intent to agree. If there's no understanding, you didn't communicate. Come on now. Then we got Val, the global voice for interludes, loving the communication with the three kings. Come on now. And like I said, that's good. They said that's good, prophet. And saying you got another one, that's good. Now, Eric, you got a chance to get yourself together, so go ahead and drop some 24 karat gold bars, brother.
It's an honor and a challenge to follow the prophet. An honor and a challenge. but this is what I'll say. Communication pretty much made me change the whole framework of my coaching practice. I have been coaching people for well over 30 years, whether it's been in corporate, whether it's been in ministry, wherever. I've been doing that. I've even coached athletic teams. I've done that. And I think I did a decent job, I would say. I look at the young men that I've mentored. Most of them wound up doing great things that they may not have done if I had not been in their lives. But the one thing that I do is I always go back and look at how I did things, even if it seemed good. And the reason why I do that is because things are forever changing in this world. We talk about it all the time on your show, on the House of Creativity on Thursday, Tech Thursday. Hey, it's so much going on, so many new things. We talk about AI and and machine learning, all this stuff. The world is dynamic and it's always changing. So I always go back and look at myself. And what I started seeing is my coaching practice started to become a little stale because I did not address the communication styles of my clients. See, we all have communication styles. We all have them. And sometimes we don't even realize it. We just speak and do things without realizing that we have a certain way of speaking and doing things. And by not understanding that we have a certain way of speaking and doing things, we come at people or say things to people in our way of speaking and doing things, and they just don't get it. So now that creates frustration. Well, I'm saying it's simple. Now we offending them because we kind of saying they're stupid now. Well, I'm saying it's as simple as I can. Like a 3-year-old can get it. And now, as the prophet said, now offenses coming in and all this stuff. So what I did is I started to do research on finding out what communication styles people operated in, what they do on a daily basis. And that is where that 7 life languages you talked about comes from. That I dug deep. I found a couple of organizations and people have done the disc and all that, and that's good. I'm not talking about none of that. That's all good. But when I got down to how people communicated, that is the first thing that I do when you walk into, before you have even a session with me, you are taking that assessment so that I can understand your communication style. Why am I doing that? Because how in the world can I coach you and I don't understand how to communicate with you? How in the world can I coach you and I don't understand your communication style? I could be saying the best stuff in the world, but it's just like talking to a brick wall. Prophet, how many times have you ministered to people and you told them exactly what they needed to hear, but just because they just couldn't get it and they don't do nothing with it. So what I got shown and I got checked is that you got to go deeper and you have to understand these communication styles. Wise sat with me, and also Val sat with me. Val the voice sat with me too. And once they found out their communication styles, and there's 7 of them. There's 7 of them. Once they found out all their communication styles and what they're strong in, a light bulb came on over their head and said, oh my God, that's why this person was tripping on me. That's why I didn't get that. That's why I get tired when I talk to this kind of person. And then it took them to another place. Then I also realized that by me not knowing my communication styles back in the day, it hurt my marriage, it hurt my relationship with my kids, and it hurt relationships in business. So I had to go back and go through all of that so that I could come to today and be able to do the things that I'm doing. So communication is so key. And the one thing I'm going to leave you all with is this. If there's someone or something that's very important to you, sit down and understand that person or that thing to the point where you get to understand their communication style, how they do what they do. Once you do that, the conversations will go smoother. And that is a way of humbling yourself. And once you humble yourself in a situation, power is ushered in.
Come on. 24 karat gold bars. I tell you. Oh my God. Let me see. We got some hearts on this one right here. Oh my God. Yeah, Missy Graham, and that is Patty from New York. And she put some hearts in there. Then she said 3 kings. Wow. Then I went spawn with the living word. Ooh, wee. Know what I'm saying? Then we had some, then of course we had some wow. Then then we got Jill again said brilliant, Eric. Yes. Yes. Then, we got people saying, great evening. So we got people say hello and stuff. And I want to make sure we ain't missing anything. 'Cause we got a lot of people coming in. And they got one right here. Understanding how your clients communicate. Brilliant. Oh, wow. No, preach. All right now. And then we got yes, indeed.
You still get to
Oh, still strolling. I'm still strolling. Then we got Val, the voice, the global voice. I've been coached right now by Eric regarding life languages. I seriously appreciate all I have learned. And I 100% agree with that. My whole entire communication flow with myself and others had changed, because now I look for how other people respond. If they respond in a certain way in their communication, then I realize, I might need to adapt my style. And for example, I'm number one, I'm a shaper. So I got to be able to, influence people by how I communicate, how to shape them. But then also, that's why I'm an edifier, because I know God called me to be an edifier. So I already know that, so they fit into the shaper. Then I am a responder and a producer. And those are very close. I can go between really all three at any time based off the situation. Once you understand your communication styles and your skills, then in this situation, this is the reason why I do this. This is how I communication this. So it's very powerful when you learn how to communicate, and especially dealing with relationship. This question dealing with African men and women, is to understand who you are and how you communicate, so you can efficiently communicate to whoever your partner is. So, and actually understand their style, so if she's a mover, like for example, the lowest on the list of me is mover. So I'm not a mover. So a mover is usually a person to get an idea and immediately they'll run with it. And I'm a type of person, I have to put a process in place, because I follow order, because I'm a time oriented person. So I had to put processes in place to make sure the time is met. So as a mover, just go ahead and just do it. I got to be able to hold up. Let's have a conversation. Let's put something in. We had to come to communication, the agreement. What Speaker T said, the agreement. So that once we speak, we had that agreement, then we can be able to move forward. Very powerful, very powerful. Speaker T, I know you have something else you want to add. So I will go ahead and put my microphone on mute, brother, so you can speak.
Well, King Eric has broke it down. And that's what's so wonderful about bringing together an amalgamation of experience. If you add, my experience plus his experience plus your experience, we have way over 60 plus years of knowledge, information, of experience. And when you bring it together, as the comments are certain, they can learn. And that means the light is being shined. When we talk about communication, I told you I had to overcome these learning disorders, and there's several learning disorders that we learn from. But when they were teaching me about communication, then there's assertive communication, where regards to the most effective form of communication. The assertive style, that's direct, but it's respectful. In other words, like me, I'm a straight shooter, so I had to learn what I call to put anesthesia on it, right? That's the respect, that's the compassion, right? But I'm a straight shooter. I can't change who I am, but I can change the method on how I communicate. Then there's an aggressive communication. There's some people, they talk with aggressive, like you hear people from Greece or New York, or they're very aggressive in your face. And if you're not used to that, you'd be like, whoa, wait a minute, get back, They're aggressive to express their feelings, their opinions, in a way that violates the rights of others. So that means they have to now tweak and do a tune-up on their communication, because they can scare their children. The kid be crying, they try to love the kid, you understand? But that's just their communication style. And then you have that passive aggressive, women, some women, not all women, are very good at this. What you want to eat? I want to eat this. I don't want to eat that. Well, I asked you what you want to eat, but you didn't want to make an opinion. Now you're going to just force you. Passive aggressive.
Hey man, I'm not co-signing on that one. You was good up until that point. I stopped nodding when you said that about the women. I became a statue when you said that.
Well, you got to know, I've been married 27 years, brother, plus. You understand? I have been skilled at this, believe that. You understand? And I have overcome it to understand when my place is and when it is not. But truth, with some respect, you can communicate.
He got receipts. He got receipts. He got receipts.
I got receipts. Come on, somebody. And so, that's the kind of styles, just to give an example in communication, that you have to master, because as King Eric said, and my children taught it to me, especially my daughter. I didn't grow up with sisters. I grew up with brothers, and so my daughter, what I thought was cool, she's like, nah, Dad, that's embarrassing. Don't say it like that. And I'm like, what's wrong with the way I say it? And so you got to humble yourself, drop the ego, right? Listen, because I want to communicate, right? And I want to have mad respect for my daughter. I want her to be able to communicate with the right man, because if I don't communicate with her, then she'll be pulling in the wrong man. Then I'm upset. I don't need to go there, amen. So let's communicate.
Then we got to get the shotgun
right now. Exactly. So that's what I would say, and I land the plane.
Oh, we land the plane on that. We definitely want that. Oh, yeah, we got some comments. I'll follow in the comments as we go. Speaking to you, I wanted to share something with this because we're going to be wrapping up soon. But since we were talking about communications, and you have a book, you have several books, but I think I need to show this one. The stories of the world's greatest speakers. So, can you actually talk about that as far as talking about communication?
Yeah, absolutely. Twice a year, we have a big stage where we have speakers come and tell their story on the main stage twice a year. And then between time, we train speakers how to speak, how to craft their stories, and how to overcome stage fright. Believe it or not, most entertainers and most actors, they got stage fright. Can you believe they get anxiety? And they have to be trained on how to overcome that. And so that's what we do. That's what I do personally. We have Leaders Live Generously Academy, where we train people. We also have Anthony D. Shannon Consulting Group.com, where we go in and train businesses and leaders on teamwork. And then, of course, with the speakers, how to craft and speak, and then overcome so many things. So what we've been able to do, last year, we were in the Wall Street Journal, as well as the New York Times. They had the 10 greatest speakers to watch out for: Tony Robbins, Les Brown, several others. And then at the 5th was myself. My name was listed amongst them. So I was pretty happy. So then what happened is 10 of us got together and we decided to put our story into the book. And, and since that time, we've been going around the different platforms, talking to others about our story, and for me, I love talking to the schools, high schools, and the young adults about how to overcome, no matter how much the odds are stacked up against you, because in a lot of places it is stacked up. Whether the father's in the home, as I said earlier, or out of the home, there are still challenges that have to be overcome, because he could be a workaholic or he could not be there, and that sort of thing. We put all of that, the different stories, in this book so that people can be inspired. It's all about inspiring folks. They call me Mr. Encouragement. I get a lot of names, even though my name is only Anthony D. Shannon, but it's because I guess what I've done or the work that I've been able to do. It's all earned, never given. So we appreciate that.
Awesome. While we got you here, I want to share a couple other things as well. So we want to go here because you're not just a speaker and just a teacher. You're also a consultant as well. Can you speak a lot about your consulting business as well, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we've overcome so much in the corporate arena. I've been a trainer, a corporate trainer. I've been all the way up to the VP. I was a vice president of Ceridian Corporation, and then became the district vice president, where I oversaw 5 different states, right? Michigan, Chicago, Wisconsin, Vegas, and then of course Detroit. And so I used to go to all of those, training managers and businesses, and then training the corporations and of course managers, just what we were talking about today: how to communicate, how to train the employee, how to onboard them. And I use some of this in my, not only at my church, but I train my leaders. I've been training leaders all over the country. They're now managers, supervisors, bishops, or running companies. Even my own children. My daughter, she's at Michigan State. She's graduating with her master's degree. My daughter is in so many programs. The PhD sit down with her. She was the only master's degree, second degree program in the second year that was invited to be a part of the boards, where normally you have to be a senior and you have to have at least a doctor's or in your doctorate program. She was not. She's in epidemiology, which is public health, and they had her already on there. My son, he's already been picked at North Carolina A&T as leader, and then my other son. I said, I've been doing this, pouring this into them since they were kids, and now to see it manifesting, man, it is beautiful. And I have a history of a resume of different people. God is my secret judge. I take no credit for it, that are leaders all over this world because of the training that I've been able to give them. That's straight up.
Oh, and he go to my alma mater too, North Carolina A&T, Aggie Pride. I'm talking about right there.
That's where you went to school.
Oh, that's where I went to school too. So,
Okay.
hey, man. So definitely, man.
He in good hands.
Oh, he in good hands. In good hands. Hey, it did me good. So I know he gonna be. He in good hands. One thing you said, I want to make sure, and then go back to the beginning. Like you said, you know how you sow the seeds when they're young. You see the manifestation now. As you said before, when you lay the foundation, it takes time for it to settle. So now you see the part of a solid foundation has been given. So just remember, people, we just got to go through the process. You feed the process. You feed the process. You feed them the word. You feed the word of encouragement, and watch it manifest in not just your life, but other lives as well. So I just wanted to make sure we get an opportunity to get people to saying, you know, we got a lot of people say amens, you know, the amen choir.
I want to say one last thing.
Yes, sir.
That you can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving.
Oh, say that one more time. Say that one more time for the choir, very, you know, deep in the very back row.
You can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving. And that's what men does. And fathers and leaders, that what we do, when we care, we love, and therefore you cannot love without giving. So we give it away, we share it, we write books about it. I told my kids that the older I get, I'm going to create videos for my great grandkids. In case I'm not here, I'm going to tell them, hey, this is your grandfather. My name is Anthony D. Shannon. Let me tell you who you are. Let me tell you your legacy. Let me tell you what we've accomplished and what I'm expecting of you. Even if I'm not here and you're watching this video, know this, I was thinking about you. Yes, sir.
Ooh, wow. Powerful, 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 powerful. Hashtag, legacy. Hashtag legacy. No better word than that.
That's powerful.
All right,
man.
That's powerful. Eric, I'm coming to you. You came off mic. You came out just right. No. Go ahead and unmic, because I want you to follow that. Then we're going to wrap up the show. So go ahead, brother. The microphone is yours.
Thank you, Wise. Thank you for going over a little bit today, because I know how you know, specific and detailed you are with time. So I appreciate it. You know, the biggest thing with me over my lifetime has been legacy. Legacy has meant everything to me. And it's funny that word became a sexy buzzword for people. Did y'all realize that? Like, you know, you look on social media and it's just like the cool word for everybody to say. But people don't know what it really is, and they don't know how to carry it out. They just like to say a 1 minute, 2 minute. I think TikTok give you 3 minutes. You know what I mean, to talk about it. And they say these eloquent words for that time, and they get these thousands and thousands of likes. But there's no love. They get the likes, but there's no love. And see, the power is in the love. The power is not in the like. The like really doesn't have any power, because the like can become a dislike in a matter of seconds. But if there's true love, love doesn't change. Love doesn't fail. Love conquers everything. And the thing about it is this: is what I realized with legacy. Love has to be there with it, and that's why that short film is called Love, number one, and Legacy. And those conversations that I did have, and it's funny, Speaker T and Prophet, it's exactly what you're talking about doing. That's all that is. It's just a conversation with my sons, my brother, and my father. So that's 3 generations of Black men sitting there talking about our experiences and how we affected each other, things that we didn't even know about each other. And I'm going to tell you right now, that conversation, even though it was filmed, has been a hallmark or a milestone in my family. Like it is something that we continue to talk about now. Remember when you said this, I wasn't even prepared. And we had no script. We didn't say, I'm going to ask you this, nothing. It was just like how this is. Like how you hit us, it was the same way. And it was powerful. And if no love is surrounded, if that love ain't accompanying that legacy, then all it is a like. And I'm telling you, likes have no staying power. Likes change very easily. You see it on TV all the time. All these people say, well, I like that dude. That dude good. And then all of a sudden they see one little thing that they thought they did. And they cut off. So the thing that I would leave with everybody is that when you do communicate, just to tie it all together, when you do communicate and you do talk to young people, because I think everybody on here has a connection with young people, or when you do talk to people and you're communicating with them and you're doing all that you're doing, make sure that number one, you humble yourself. And number two, you lead with love. And then you can't fail. You just can't. They may not get it right then, but I'm going to tell you, that love never fails. Now, sometimes you don't want to give it. Come on, Detroit. But you got to humble yourself in order to give it. So that's what I'm going to leave you with, brother. And thank you for allowing me to be here, man. This was
much love, much love, much love. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Speaking to you, I see you came off mic. I didn't know you had anything you want to add to that. But, ooh, boy.
I just want to say this is called Brother Love. And brothers can love, brothers can share, and brothers can do it, and do it with passion, do it with a heart, and authentic, and not be gay, not be this or that. And if that's what those want to do, that's fine. But guess what? We're showing that it can also be done just like this and leave a legacy for impacting all over the country. Peace.
Powerful. Now, with that being said,
what up,
though? Oh, okay. Hey, guess what? We got somebody saying what up, though. So, thank you, Patty from New York. All right. So, we're going to go and wrap up the show. But before we wrap up the show, I want to make sure I share a couple of things right here. Since we're talking about communication, you know what I'm saying? You can find this amazing brother on many different networks. I love this because he just don't stop and say, you know what, I'm just going to talk to the 4 walls, but I'm going to communicate a message on several, as you look there, platforms. So Speaker TV, we want to make sure that I recognize that right there, as you also, does magazines. You know what I'm saying? You did the Christmas edition with the Holiday Magic 2024, and smooth and dapper right there, brother. Then also you does a certified, TV network certified. And I want to make sure I share this is coming up right here on the TCT, what it said Ask the Pastor. So can you give people a little bit of information about that?
Yeah, they can go to tct.tv, click on Ask the Pastor, and watch any past shows on demand. We come live every Thursday at 2:30 to 3:30. And they can ask any question they want concerning the Bible, and we'll answer it. At least do our best.
What up, though? For real.
What up, though?
That one talking about, we got major platforms, and they got one more thing I want you to share because it's upcoming, because this going to be upcoming. You are a proud sponsor of Super Bowl Media Week, and I see you got the iHeartRadio and thing. Anything you want to promote with that as well?
Yeah, Leading from the Future, which is my show on and it's on Stage Plus, Apple TV, Roku TV, Hulu TV, and the Super Bowl. Our network has been sponsored. I couldn't go, or I would have been the one interviewing. So I said, I'm going to send a mug with some folks who's going. And my mug, all I want to do is just get the mugs out, have all of the players sign the mug, as we'll be there sponsoring Media Week in Las Vegas. And I thought, man, that's going to be huge. You know what I mean? I just can't be there live. So I said, my Leaders Live Generously Academy will be there with our commercial as well.
Awesome. 24 karat gold bars. They say he ain't just talking about it, he's being about it. Then saying in the influence with the Super Bowl that's coming up. That one saying that's called leadership moving forward and showing it how to be done. And this, he not just doing this just because he's doing it. Guess what? He got academies. He got people that he trained. He trained leaders how to be leaders. So you definitely want to tune in and get in contact with him. People, just make sure below the like button, just go ahead and check the description out. And gonna be links for you, be able to link stuff there for even people who watch the replays. So definitely check out Speaker T, Dr. Anthony D. Shannon. So with that, and Eric, you can tell people, they already know, they already saw the commercial, but you can let them know what else they can expect and how they can connect with you.
That was a smooth commercial, by the way.
Thank you so much. We worked very hard on it, and there's several more coming. Over the next several weeks, we all of the hard work that I've been telling you all about, the House of Creativity, is coming to a head. There will be, I would say several, but there's going to be a lot of things coming, new programs, new resources. I have partnered with new people that are actually helping me to be able to communicate, not only in a way that people can understand me, but all types of media as well. So there are some things that are coming that will be revealed next week. That's going to be awesome. But in the meantime, go to the website, EYPcoaching.com. You can definitely find out more about what I do and how I do it. Also, you can follow me on social media. It's expressyourperspective.com. Expressyourperspective.com is the overarching site, so you can go and find out more there. But Express Your Perspective is what I'm on all social media. So you are able to follow me and do all the things that you need to do. And I also have a Facebook group called My Seven. Wise is on there. Everybody's on there. I've taken a hiatus, but I will be back. I got so much stuff to put out there now, it's going to be crazy. So those are the things that I have going on, and there will be much more coming. But EYPcoaching.com, go there, and then all things social media is expressyourperspective.com.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, you quite welcome, bro. This ain't the last time.
I'm gonna waive my this. You know, I usually have a fee for this kind of thing, but since this was so inspirational and we did such a great job, I'm waiving the fee for the night. So you good.
Okay, I'm good. I thought I already put the check in the mail. I thought you gave me the P.O. box. I put the check in the mail already. You know what I'm saying? So,
bro, I already got no P.O.
Oh, so my bad. So don't think. Well, that check would definitely come back to the center. So we appreciate that. Oh, we have a good time, people, and I appreciate you guys. And what I want to say is, this ain't the last time. We definitely need to keep on doing this. They need to hear our voices. We need to get on to empower and to inspire others. And I believe this Wise going live at 5 doing with us 3 kings. That's what they call us, the 3 kings. And we got so many other kings that we need to inspire, and queens. So, I definitely appreciate it. I want y'all brothers to go nowhere, so y'all stick around while we go ahead and actually wrap up this podcast.
Okay.
Again, everybody, this is Wise Going Live at 5. We thank you for tuning in today, and it's been amazing. Again, send the information about these amazing kings. It's just going to be below the like button. As I say like button, because I want y'all to go ahead and like this. I want you to go ahead and share this with other. We are a growing community here, people. We're just growing community. We're growing people together. We want to empower, to inspire others. And that's through great conversation and great interviews here at Wise Going Live at 5. So definitely tune in to next week, and thank you for all the support. And like I said, more information will be coming about other things that J Melane, also known as Wise, will be doing as well. So I want y'all guys to have a wonderful weekend. Just remember, love is a action word. While you're taking the time to love yourself, make sure you show love to someone else. And y'all all have a wonderful weekend. Looking forward to seeing you again on Wise Going Live at 5 for next week. Take care. Peace.